Cycling to school, I'd long for it. I'd race to cross it. Drawn to it through a wooded grove, trees arching into a soft light, a slow green curve, a dip, a final turn into the bridge itself, and then the lift, the rise, the swooping arc. A 10-year-old kid whooping her way over a humpback bridge, heart and wheels in flight. Now, 40 years on, I drive, don't cycle to the self-same bridge, still there. But everything is safe now, homogenised. The road is ironed flat. How then can you explain that the child in me still races forward, still feels the leap, the lift, the flight of the bridge long gone? Childlike, we'd often sit on the edge of things. Worn chairs, warmed car seats, polished church pews, swinging small-toed Sunday shoes over an ocean of blue. We'd hunch close sometimes to night-shadowed stairs, easing our small voices up against a nimbus of light, listening to adult voices, adult laughter, stories, songs, warming the night below. Later, we'd learn to stand on the edge of friendships too, newly wary of friends who turned aside and did not stay, fresh to hurt that stung like bitter lemon, deep in wounds we could neither reach nor heal. At times, now, in myself and in others, I still see those children underneath the skin, children who grew used to waiting on the edge and did not step within. The small child sits huddled into her seat on the bus, worries tucked carefully into the satchel by her side. Her face stares out far beyond from where she sits, solemn and still, gazing beyond the rain, carefully oblivious to the torrent of shrieks and laughs that cascade down upon her. Only her fingers, soft and pale, move endlessly in her lap, a silent ebb and flow of fear. We walked the last mile home each day, 3 small girls, satcheled, often scratched from tumbling playground games or farmyard fun. In spring, the hedges burst with flowers, bluebells rippled past us down the steepest banks while we drew sweetness from the primrose hearts and stitchwort traced our way. I walk that road now on some quiet afternoons and visit trees, now aged and tall, that we once jumped from, played around. And sometimes, if the day is true, I press my face against a weathered, gnarled bark and hear childish voices still. You walk the fields here, the hedges, lift the gates, or balance at the top, swinging your body with your leg to pivot, stretch and then jump down. Those fields filled our summer days. We ran them, chased the dog, hauled back straying calves. Later I learned to work them. I cropped and tilled, birthed young ones, baled the hay and straw. My strongest memory, however, was standing as a child where 4 fields met, high on the hill, protected by a brittle whitethorn hedge, dry stone walls converging at a silent well. My father kneeling, weeping, beside a dying cow, his calloused hands gentle on her straining neck, her head on his lap, her cold eye towards the empty sky. The old, blind cat sits quietly on the windowsill, pressing his face carefully against the cool morning glass. He listens to summer scampering past him like a kitten. These are the days when the light moves slowly on, when summer, wrapped up gently as any perfect gift, ebbs slowly, and in leaving us seems sweeter than before. I search for beauty in fields around the farm and find berry-clustered hedges limned in leaf of gold, glowing brightly, still lifelike, rich with colour, holding the weight, if not the heat, of the lowering sun. For autumn brings with it a fading memory of warmth, and falls in layers of stillness now, a slow retreat, pressing more lightly in against the shortening day. These days, I carry close to me as something treasured my memory of this farm on a clear summer's day. Dawn brought with it then rich promises of toil, unwrapped in soft blue mornings, filigreed with mist, thick swathes of grass falling freshly mown behind my father's blades, dried crisp and fragrant under a golden sun. We carried light within us, in childish voices and in laughter, from fields to kitchen, then racing back outdoors, each voice a note of busy happiness we did not know we sang. Later, in the room we shared, folded and tucked in tight, summer light pulling in golden shadows at the foot of each small bed, mist softening again the edges of the glorious day. Roads, hedges, cattle, cats, still warm with the memory of sun, and a waterfall of birdsong echoing through this falling dusk. The fading light of autumn now is a different, sombre thing. The yard is stilled, old houses empty, tractors gone. The choir of birds is silenced too, some have already flown. Those remaining have withdrawn from the immediacy of the day. Leaves are weighted now and still, caught on the cusp of colour, waiting to fall. Only shadows fill the quiet, lonely byres. The pale light of winter will be a barren gift, something to yearn for, and yet lose too soon. Such meagre light will prove a mere echo of the generous summer sun, and will not fill the faltering heart or thaw the frozen soil. The frosted light draws out instead the scents and sounds of the fading year. The sweetened smoke of peat fires fragrance the still cool air, and in the icy lowering darkness a fox's bark echoes harshly across the empty frozen fields, while glittering stars burn cold and the old farm lies quiet and still.